There's this awesome story with Moses and God and in Exodus that is, I think, just resonates with how we are to spend time with God. Moses is visiting God up in Mount Sinai during this time, and he's meeting with him and he's talking with him. And this is where Moses gets the Ten Commandments. This is where he gets the tablets given to him. And there's a cool part at the end of this in chapter 34. It says, "It came about when Moses was coming down from Mount Sinai, and the two tablets of the testimony were in Moses' hand as he was coming down from the mountain, that Moses did not know that the skin of his face shone because of his speaking with him. So when Aaron and all the sons of Israel saw Moses, behold, the skin of his face shone, and they were afraid to come near him. Then Moses called to them, and Aaron and all the rulers in the congregation returned to him, and Moses spoke to them." It says that after this, Moses would go up the mountain, come back from the mountain, and his face would shine, and he would put a veil as he would talk to God's people. But when he would go up in the mountain, he would unveil himself. And I had just learned this, and I think this is really fun. The Hebrew word for shone, I was going to try to pronounce the word. I can't pronounce it, but the word for it actually can be translated as to display horns. And that's a very interesting, to display horns, to have horns, that Moses had horns on his head as he was walking down the mountain. It's really interesting because, like, if you ever search Michelangelo's statue of Moses, you'll notice that he created horns on Moses' head because the Latin translation translated it from the Hebrew as horns, as the word that it is. And in Near Eastern ancient times, it was actually a big symbol that if somebody had horns, it meant that they were sacred. It meant that they reflected the glory of whatever God that they were worshiping, or whatever God that they were spending time with. It had such a weight like that. And so here Moses is, and the Hebrew scholars or the Hebrew writers know what they're doing and what they're saying. That Moses' face was shining, it was glowing with God, reflecting God's glory, and he was spending sacred time with Yahweh. So here's my question: have you been spending time with God? Because it says that uh, he did not know that the skin of his face shone. Why? Because of his speaking with him. Other translation says because he was talking with God. You see, and there's so much more even to the glory of God, but when we spend time with our Heavenly Father, we begin to reflect His glory. So today, will you just spend time talking to God, allowing your ear to turn towards Him, and for you to just spend time so that way you can reflect the glory of God?